JBN, we keep you informed. Doctor almost lost his hand to insane man. A Lindsay doctor is nursing severe chop wounds to his left hand after he was attacked by a man who is allegedly of unsound mind. The incident occurred last Monday morning at the doctor's King Street office in the busy St. Catherine town. It is reported that there was a disagreement between the doctor and the man, who reportedly left the building and returned with a machete which he used to chop the doctor. A police source said that the doctor's hand was nearly severed. Unconfirmed reports are that the doctor may have lost some fingers. The man then ran from the premises and has not been seen since. The Lindsay police are searching for him. When the police station was contacted, personnel acknowledged that the incident had taken place and that a probe is underway. However, it was not revealed who was investigating the matter or if a formal report was recorded in the diary at the station. I can say for certain that a major incident of that nature against the medical doctor has been investigated. I do not know how far the investigation reached, but the police is seeking to get the person who carried out the act, a senior lawman said. It is unclear where or if the doctor went for medical attention. Herbert Garrikas, counsel for the Lindsay division, said that he has been trying to find the doctor who has been operating in the town for more than 10 years. He said that from what he heard of the incident, some fear that the doctor may lose his hand. Garrikas said that he was worried for the doctor's ability to continue his practice. Meanwhile, concerns were expressed that despite the fact that there are so many persons in the area who suffer from mental illness, there is no police personnel trained to assist in the apprehension whenever there is a problem. A .357 Magnum revolver allegedly taken from teenager in Portmore. A teenager is expected to be charged under the Firearms Act following his arrest in connection with the seizure of a firearm and several rounds of ammunition. He was apprehended in Beverly Flats, Newlands in Portmore, St. Catherine on Saturday, June 8. Reports from the Portmore police are that about 9:45 p.m., during a police military operation, the teenager was seen sitting on a bench. He reportedly ran when he was approached by the police and was pursued and caught. He was searched and a .357 Magnum revolver, a very powerful handgun containing 6 rounds of ammunition, was reportedly taken from his waistband. He was subsequently arrested. His identity has been withheld. Investigations continue into the seizure. St. James man who allegedly set elderly woman on fire charged. The Adelphi police in St. James have charged Nicaila Facey in relation to the death of 74-year-old Evelyn Blair, who died after being set on fire in her community in April. The police say Facey, otherwise called Almine, unemployed of Lima in the parish, was positively identified during an identification parade on Saturday and was later charged following a question and answer session on Sunday. Facey had surrendered to the police on Saturday, June 4. A date is to be set for him to appear in court. The police report that about 6 a.m. on Thursday, April 25, Blair was walking along the roadway in her community of Lima District, St. James, when she was approached and allegedly attacked by Facey, who had reportedly broken into her home earlier. He reportedly poured gasoline on her and set her on fire before escaping in the area. She was taken to the Cornwall Regional Hospital, where she was admitted with burns affecting 98% of her body. She later died on Saturday, April 27. Jamaican man to appear in court and illegally entering Trinidad and Tobago. A Jamaican national who said he paid immigration officials at the Piarco International Airport to escape is due to appear in court this week after he was captured by police last Friday. Police had been searching for O'Shane Bailey ever since he walked out of the airport on June 1. Bailey was denied entry to the island after arriving on May 31 to visit relatives and was due to have been returned to his country the following day. Police said when he was captured on Friday after going about his business as normal like a tourist. One newspaper had reported last week that Bailey had indicated he was willing to surrender to police and denied he escaped but paid an official US $500 to leave. Bailey told the Trinidad Guardian newspaper that he could not have run out of the airport because he walks with a limp. He said he left after paying to be released. He was supposed to pay another US $300 to get his passport, which was seized by immigration. The door to that room needs a swipe pass and a PIN number for the door to open. They have so many cameras in there. All they need to do is to check the footage, and they will see him inside there talking to me. Obviously, they are setting me up. They took my money and told the police I escaped. Bailey, a sound engineer, told the Guardian newspaper. Police said he'll be charged with entering the country illegally and escaping lawful custody. Husband and wife, both attorneys, before the courts on fraud charges. Detectives from the fraud squad have arrested and charged an attorney at law as investigations into fraudulent transactions in relation to the processing of a St. Mary property continues. Facing charges of demanding property, obtaining money by means of false pretenses, and conspiracy is 35-year-old Kadeen Dixon, an attorney of a Kingston 5 address. Dixon was arrested at her office in Kingston on Thursday, June 6. In a release on Saturday, the Corporate Communications Unit, CCU, the police's information arm, said investigators have intensified their probe into alleged fraudulent transactions involving a property in Harmony Hall, St. Mary, which reportedly involved Mrs. Dixon and her husband Jerome, who is also an attorney. The release said Mr. Dixon was charged in 2018 for forgery of a High Court judge's signature, and further investigations suggested that the wife had some involvement in the alleged crime. On Thursday, July 19, 2018, the fraud squad arrested and charged Mr. Dixon for forgery, uttering forged documents, and demanding property with forged documents. Reports are that on March 23, 2018, he lodged an instrument of transfer document and a court order with the National Land Agency with information giving directives for a property in Harmony Hall, St. Mary, which is owned by the complainants, to be transferred to one of his clients. Investigations subsequently revealed that in respect of the instrument of transfer document that was purportedly signed by a registrar at the Supreme Court, and the court order supposedly signed by a judge at the Supreme Court, both documents had been forged. Another document supposedly signed by a justice of the peace of the parish of Kingston was also forged. The instrument of transfer document was lodged at the office of the Commissioner of Taxes, where a sum of $1.4 million in transfer taxes was paid by Dixon's client in relation to the property. A report was made to the fraud squad, following which investigations led to Mr. Dixon being arrested and charged. He was offered bail in the sum of $400,000. Mrs. Dixon was offered offered bail in the sum of $400,000 and is scheduled to appear in the Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Court on June 20, along with Mr. Dixon. No official functions during mourning period for Siaga. No public social functions or official events should be held during the 4-day period of mourning in honor of the life and service of the late former Prime Minister Edward Siaga. The period will be observed from the morning of Wednesday, June 19 to the evening of Saturday, June 22. According to a statement from the Office of the Prime Minister, it is customary during an official period of mourning to curtail activities of a flamboyant or celebratory nature and restrict engagements deemed noisy until the period has concluded. This usually coincides with the end of the burial ceremony. Additionally, throughout the period, the national flag is to be flown at half-mast on all public buildings. This is approximately the hoist or width short side of a flag, below the peak of the flagstaff and not halfway down the mast. The flag should first be hoisted close up and then lowered to the half-mast position. Before the flag is lowered at sunset, it should again be hoisted close up and then lowered fully. In instances where there is more than one flagstaff, the national flag should always be raised on the right-hand side. Left hand is seen by the outside observer. Any other flag must be flown to the left of the national flag. The official code for the national flag recommends that it be flown on public buildings, customarily from 8 a.m. until sundown. A similar procedure would apply for the hoisting of flags on or at other buildings and locations. The state funeral for Siaga will be held on Sunday, June 23, beginning at noon at the Cathedral of the Most Holy Trinity, 1 George Edley Drive in Kingston. Interment will follow at the National Heroes Park. Leading up to the funeral, a football tribute will be held at the Edward Siaga Sports Complex on June 16. Both Houses of Parliament will offer tributes in a special sitting on June 19, and a wake will be held at Tivoli Garden Square on June 22. Siaga, who was Jamaica's 5th Prime Minister, died May 28 on his 89th birthday. JBN, we keep you informed. Please remember to like, subscribe, share, leave us a comment, and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.